Hey everybody, Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick update on my experience with the Sony A7R2. This is a $3,200 full-frame mirrorless interchangeable lens camera. That is for the body alone. I've got the Zeiss FE 24-70 f4 lens attached to it right now, which I have found to be a great pairing, as is my G70-200 f4 lens. Both work very well. Even my APS-C-based Sony 10 to 18 mil APS-C lens works well on here because it does, by accident, happen to work in full frame, not throughout the entire range, but I've been using all three of those lenses essentially since I took this thing out of the box. And so far, I have been thoroughly impressed. Yes, we have the form factor of the A7RII, the image stabilization, that 5-axis stabilization that's native with Sony glass, also implemented 3-axis stabilization with non-Sony glass, any third-party stuff, Canon, Nikon, you name it. So that's a great enhancement. 4K video capture, you can see that right there designated on the body itself. A more solid body to accommodate heavier, larger glass, which has been a component of the faster FE lenses to hit the market, something that the original VG900 in 2012 didn't have the benefit of. S-Log video on board, an electronic shutter, which you can hear right now, which is relatively silent to the shutter that was on the original A7R, which I have right here. A pretty big departure in the body and design, and I think really for the better in just about every way. Even though I do like the original A7R, and I felt it was an engineering marvel for what it was able to pull off. Yes, we gained some weight here, but boy, did we gain functionality. The 42 megapixel backlit sensor is really a tremendous jump, not necessarily from the megapixel standpoint, but more so from the performance standpoint. And that means better low light performance. Of course, as I mentioned before, we've got UHD video and XAVCS. The autofocus system has been revamped, 399 points of phase detection now on this camera, something we did not have in the previous generation. And you really are going to find yourself hard-pressed to find this camera not locking on its subject when using native glass. And that's what's really critical about this versus any other, I would say, alpha full-frame camera on the market. So the electronic shutter, the UHD video, the S-Log option, the eye autofocus system, which is only available with native FE lenses. If you're using third-party stuff, that's not going to work, so you're going to lose a little bit of the autofocus magic of this latest gen. Clean HDMI out, XLR out on this camera, of course, with an adapter, but something that many people were looking for and expecting. And then Sony pulling out all the stops on what comes in box, giving 2 batteries, giving you a wall charger, the ability to still charge on board using micro USB. So really the flexibility, all the flexibility you could possibly want. I would have liked to have seen USB 3.0, but not a big deal. Your SD card slot there, keep in mind for UHD video capture and XAVCS at 100 megabits per second, you are going to need one of the faster cards on the market, a UHS 3 SDXC card. Your video capture dedicated button right there, and then pretty much all of the buttons that you've come to know and use on any other Sony camera like this, full frame or APS-C. Lots of customizations. You've got your menu button there, your C3, C1, C2. The mode dial button, I really could have lived without the lock, but not a big deal. I think it's just another response to customer feedback, or at least that's what I would imagine, like much of this camera. But overall, so far, really satisfied. Build quality is great. Images are great. Autofocus, a major improvement. UHD video looks beautiful. You'll see that from my samples online. And really, I have nothing negative to say about this camera. I am simply impressed above and beyond. So far, the A7R2 looks like it's worth every penny. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. And of course, as usual, please feel free to subscribe. Later.